Hi, I'm Mary, 28, a marketing executive at Dixon and Partners. I've always been proud of taking care of my mom, especially after she divorced Dad when I was 15. The apartment is perfect, honey. I can finally host proper dinner parties. Mom squealed on the phone as I helped her move into her new luxury apartment, the one I was partially paying for. I smiled, remembering how hard she worked raising me alone. That's great, Mom. Just remember, it's a bit over budget, so we'll need to keep the extras in check. Oh, darling, don't worry. You know how good I am with money, she said breezily. Later that week, while having coffee with my best friend Jennifer, Mom called again, her excitement palpable. Mary, you won't believe who I met at the country club, Sandra Thompson, from Thompson Real Estate. The Thompson Real Estate? I asked, incredulous. How did you end up there? Oh, I have my ways, she replied coyly. Sandra and I just clicked. She's even invited me to her charity gala next weekend. Jennifer raised an eyebrow as I hung up. Your mom, at the Thompson Gala? That's interesting. When my boyfriend Michael joined us a few minutes later, I filled him in on Mom's sudden social leap. She's been acting different. Last week, she showed me her Instagram and had edited old photos to hide the peeling wallpaper in our old apartment. Michael frowned. That doesn't sound like her. Linda always used to be proud of how she managed as a single mom. That evening, I stopped by her apartment and found her practicing what she called her society laugh in front of a mirror. Mom, where are all the family photos? I asked, noticing the bare walls. Of those old things. She waved dismissively. They didn't match the new decor. Sandra's decorator suggested something more modern. Even the ones with Grandma and Grandpa. Your wedding photo. Mary, let's be realistic. Those photos, they show a different time, she said, avoiding my eyes. Sandra's crowd has certain expectations. You mean they show we're Chinese? That we're middle class? Mary, you don't understand. Sometimes we need to adapt. Adapt. Last week, you told me to call you Linda instead of Mom in public. Well, you're old enough now. It sounds more sophisticated. A text from Jennifer buzzed on my phone. Your mom just posted about her summer home in the Hamptons on Facebook. Isn't that your cousin's beach rental? I glanced at Mom, now balancing a book on her head as part of her poise training. The woman who once taught me character mattered more than appearances was vanishing before my eyes. This dinner party will change everything, she said, not meeting my gaze. The Thompsons are coming. Everything must be perfect. The night of the party, I arrived early with the expensive wine she asked for. The apartment smelled of catered French cuisine, undoubtedly charged to my credit card. Mom, I got everything you needed. Do you need help with anything else? Just one thing, she said, handing me a black dress and white apron. What is this? I asked, confused. Oh, just for tonight. Please, Mary, she pleaded. Before I could protest, the doorbell rang. She rushed to greet Sandra Thompson, her husband Patrick, and their son Peter, all elegantly dressed. Maria, come meet our guests, Mom called out, her voice honeyed. It took me a moment to realize she was talking to me. This is Maria, my wonderful cleaning lady. She's such a treasure. Her words hit like a slap. I managed a polite nod, my face burning. Linda, tell them about your daughter in Europe, Sandra gushed, the one doing her PhD. As I served appetizers, Mom spun elaborate tales about her daughter at Oxford, her summers in Monaco, and embassy parties with her late husband, the ambassador. My dad, a high school math teacher, would have laughed at the absurdity. Jennifer arrived mid-party, as Mom had forgotten she'd invited her weeks ago. What are you wearing? She hissed. Apparently, I'm Maria tonight, I whispered back. Jennifer's jaw dropped as Mom continued weaving her web of lies. From small investments in the Thompsons' new real estate project to properties in Monaco, it all felt surreal. Later, after the guests left, I confronted her. Mom, an imaginary daughter. Embassy parties, Monaco properties, and what about this investment with the Thompsons? Where did you get $500,000? It's just temporary, Mary, she said, her voice trembling. I needed to keep up appearances. With my money? The apartment payments, the credit cards, don't be so dramatic. Mom waved me off. Once the investment pays off, everything will be fine. Mom, this isn't networking. It's fraud, I said, my voice shaking. It's business, she snapped. You're too naive to understand how things work in these circles. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to call my broker about the Monaco property. I watched her stride away, still draped in her fantasy world, as if nothing had happened. A text from Jennifer lit up my phone. Check your credit report now. Her insistence wasn't misplaced. My stomach dropped when I saw the results. 6 new credit cards opened in my name, all maxed out. The next morning, I stormed into Mom's apartment, the report clenched in my trembling hands. How could you do this? I demanded. These cards aren't even in your name. Lower your voice, Mary. The neighbors might hear, she said coolly, as if that were the biggest concern. The neighbors? Mom, you stole my identity. You committed identity theft. Borrowed, she corrected, crossing her arms. I merely borrowed your excellent credit for a few investments. Once they mature, everything will be repaid. Investments? You mean the fake Monaco property or the Thompson deal you can't possibly afford? She rolled her eyes. You're being hysterical. This is why I needed a more sophisticated daughter for my new circle. Someone who understands the importance of appearances. You mean your fake Oxford daughter? My voice cracked. Mom ignored me, already checking her phone. Sandra's texting about the yacht club membership, she muttered as if I wasn't even there. At work the next day, I met a new hire. Hi, I'm Emily Thompson, she said, offering a friendly smile. I just transferred from the LA office. My stomach dropped. Thompson. Over lunch, Emily proved refreshingly down to earth. God, those charity galas my mom throws are so pretentious, she groaned. Everyone's just there to show off. Must be tough dealing with all that, I said cautiously. Right? Speaking of deals though, Mom won't shut up about this amazing investment opportunity. Some woman named Linda Chen convinced them to back a huge development project. I nearly choked on my salad. Dad's usually super careful, Emily continued, but this Linda person really worked her magic, got them to fast-track everything. That evening, Jennifer came over with takeout and her laptop. Look what I found, she said, pulling up a series of documents. Your mom's been very busy. Loan applications, investment proposals, wire transfers. How did you get these? I asked, shocked. Peter Thompson sent them. He's been digging too. Jennifer clicked on another file. Look, those investment documents your mom gave his parents? The signatures don't even match. My phone buzzed. A text from Emily. Hey, weird question, but do you know Linda Chen? Mom's freaking out because some checks bounced. Before I could reply, my phone rang. Mary, darling, Mom's voice cooed. I need a tiny favor. Would you co-sign a small business loan? Just a formality. Are you kidding me? I snapped. After everything you've done. This attitude is exactly why I had to invent a better daughter, she said coldly. Do you know how embarrassing it is to have a child who doesn't understand the importance of appearances? Do you know how embarrassing it is to serve dinner to your mother's friends as Maria the maid? That was a compliment. Help is so hard to find these days. The following week was a blur of revelations. Jennifer found social media posts where Mom claimed to own companies I'd never heard of. Emily reported her parents were growing uneasy about their investment. Peter unearthed more documents showing Mom had convinced other wealthy friends to back non-existent properties. Then came the fallout. Letters from credit card companies demanding payments, banks questioning loan applications, and a notice from the IRS requesting clarification on suspicious transactions. Finally, Mom called me, her voice trembling for the first time. Mary, she whispered, the Thompsons are asking questions about the properties. The investments? I might have been a bit creative with some details, Mom admitted when I confronted her. Creative? You mean fraudulent. Such an ugly word, she sniffed. I prefer aspirational. Now about that business loan. I hung up before she could finish. My phone immediately lit up with texts. Emily. Your mom is the Linda. Dad's lawyers are going crazy. Jennifer. Check your email. More documents from Peter. It's worse than we thought. Peter. My parents' lawyer would like to speak with you. The house of cards Mom had built was finally tumbling down, and I had front row seats to the collapse. I sat in the Thompsons' lawyer's office, surrounded by stacks of evidence. Jennifer's recordings, Peter's documents, my credit reports, and dozens of fraudulent investment papers. Your mother's activities are extensive, the lawyer said gravely. The fake properties alone. We'll handle all the legal details, Sandra Thompson interrupted. Then she turned to me with an accusatory look. But Mary, darling, why didn't you tell us sooner? Tell you what? That my mother introduced me as the maid? That she invented a fake daughter because I wasn't good enough. Sandra at least had the grace to look embarrassed. The dominoes fell quickly after that. Mom's wealthy friends discovered their investments were fake. The country club revoked her membership. The IRS flagged suspicious transactions. Her social media empire of lies crumbled as people realized every post was fabricated. Emily texted me later. Did you see? Your mom tried joining the Sterling Club claiming to be a European duchess. I was typing a response when my boss called me into his office. Mary, he said, we've been impressed with how you've handled everything. We'd like to offer you the director of marketing position. That night, I celebrated my promotion with Michael and Jennifer at our favorite restaurant. As we toasted, my phone buzzed with a notification. Mom had filed for bankruptcy. Good, Jennifer said, raising her glass. Justice served. The next morning, a letter arrived from Mom. Dearest Mary, I'm writing this from my new apartment, much smaller as you'd expect. You'll be disappointed to know that everything I built, well, borrowed, is gone. The Thompsons' lawsuit, the IRS investigation, the bankruptcy. I've hit rock bottom. But losing you hurts the most. I was wrong, so terribly wrong about everything. The fake daughter, the Maid incident, the credit cards. I let superficial things blind me to what really mattered. You were always the perfect daughter. I was the imperfect mother. Please forgive me. I folded the letter and tucked it into my desk drawer. On my computer screen, a news article headline stared back at me. Socialite Linda Chen faces federal investigation for investment fraud. The story was over. Now I have a question for you. What would you do if your own mother erased your existence to climb the social ladder? Would you give her another chance after an apology like this? Or would you, like me, maintain firm boundaries? The truth is, sometimes the people who should love us the most are the ones who hurt us the deepest. Share your thoughts in the comments below.